Alex leaned back in the pilot's chair, watching the stars glide past the cockpit window. Space had always felt empty and quiet, but today there was a strange tension in the air. He was on a routine cargo mission, delivering supplies between two colonies near the Orion Belt. Normally, it was a boring trip, but then his ship's sensor beeped. A distress signal appeared on the main screen. It was faint, irregular, and definitely not a normal traffic call. Alex frowned. "That's odd," he muttered. He had learned long ago that distress signals in deep space were rarely genuine. They were usually traps. But curiosity gnawed at him. He was a human, and humans were stubborn like that. He adjusted the ship's course toward the source. As he drew closer, he saw the outline of a ship floating silently in the dark. It was unlike any design he had seen before. Sleek, angular, and enormous, it looked more like a fortress than a transport. Its surface shimmered with a faint blue glow, as if it were alive. Alex docked carefully, keeping a hand near the emergency thrusters. The docking clamps attached with a quiet click, and he activated the airlock. Slowly, he stepped into the abandoned corridor. The hum of the ship's systems echoed softly, but no signs of life appeared. Then a voice rang out. Clear, strong, and confident. "Who dares board my ship?" Alex froze. The voice was human-like, but strange in tone, musical yet sharp, commanding attention. He rounded a corner and almost tripped over her. Standing there was a young woman, or rather an alien woman. Her skin was pale with a soft violet hue, and her eyes shone bright gold. She wore a flowing suit that seemed both elegant and practical, and there was a small crown on her head that marked her as royalty. I'm Alex," he said, raising his hands. "I got your distress signal. I'm just trying to help." The alien woman studied him. Her eyes narrowed, but there was curiosity there, too. "I am Princess Lyra," she said. "You are brave or foolish to enter my ship." Alex chuckled nervously. "I guess maybe a little of both. I didn't think anyone would be here alive." Lyra's lips curved slightly, but there was no warmth in her smile. "Few can contain me," she said quietly. "Most who try fail. You are lucky. For now." Alex didn't know what she meant, but he felt it instantly. She was not someone to underestimate. Even sitting calmly, she radiated power and confidence. He remembered the old stories of her. The alien princess who escaped every fortress, outsmarted entire fleets, and left chaos wherever she went. And here she was, standing in front of him. "I'm not here to fight," Alex said. "I just want to help you. If you're in danger, I can get you to safety." Lyra tilted her head, studying him carefully. "Safety," she repeated. "Do you think humans can protect royalty?" Alex shrugged. "I don't know, but I do. No, humans are clever and stubborn, and we survive in impossible situations. That's something." Lyra raised an eyebrow. "Impressive. Most humans are ordinary. You might be different." Before Alex could reply, a sudden alarm blared. Red lights flashed across the corridor. He glanced at the ship's control panel. "Looks like your security system isn't happy with me," he said. Lyra's eyes flickered to the panel, then to Alex. She smiled, not a gentle smile, but one filled with amusement. "Then perhaps you and I will need to cooperate. You are lucky you arrived when you did. I have enemies, many enemies. And they are coming." Alex's stomach tightened. He had dealt with pirates before, but this was something different. Her tone, her presence. He could feel the danger looming. "Enemies?" he asked cautiously. "Yes," she said simply. "I am Princess Lyra of the Cathari Empire. My father's throne is under threat. I escaped to find allies, but the galaxy knows my face. My pursuers will not stop until I am captured, or dead." Alex swallowed. "That's a lot to take in." Lyra moved closer. Her movements were graceful, confident, and deliberate. "It is simple," she said. "You can help me or you can leave. But if you leave, they may catch me, and you may not live to tell the story." Alex's hands clenched the edge of the console. He was not a hero. Not really. But humans had a strange habit of stepping up when everything looked hopeless. And somehow, he had a feeling that he and this uncontainable princess were about to be thrown into a situation far beyond anything he had faced. "All right," he said finally. "I'll help, but we do this my way. We stay smart, stay quiet, and stay alive." Lyra's golden eyes glinted with amusement. "Very well, human. Let us see if your stubbornness matches your courage." As Alex moved to the ship's cockpit, he realized that nothing about this mission would be routine anymore. He had no idea what lay ahead, but one thing was certain. In the vast darkness of space, humans could surprise even the most uncontainable of alien princesses. And for the first time, Alex felt a strange thrill. Adventure, danger, and the unknown stretched before him. He looked at Lyra, standing tall and unyielding, and thought, maybe this was the kind of challenge humans were made for. Above them, the stars continued to shine, silent witnesses to the beginning of a partnership that could change the fate of both their worlds. Alex guided the small human cargo ship away from the abandoned alien vessel. Through the cockpit window, the strange blue glow of Lyra's ship slowly faded into the distance. She sat beside him, her golden eyes scanning every control panel like she was memorizing it. "You've never flown in a human craft before?" Alex asked. Lyra gave a small shrug. "I have seen them from a distance. Primitive, but clever. Your technology is less advanced than my people's, yet you make it work." "Thanks," Alex said dryly. "I think?" Lyra didn't smile. Her attention was locked on the stars ahead. "We must move fast. My pursuers will detect the ship's location soon." Alex adjusted the course. "I know a few hidden routes, not on official maps. Pirates use them sometimes, and so do I." That made her glance at him. "You are not a simple cargo pilot, then." "I'm a simple cargo pilot," he said, "but space teaches you to be creative. Otherwise, you don't last long." Lyra tilted her head. "Perhaps humans are more resourceful than I thought." The ship's navigation screen flickered. Warning flashed. "Unidentified vessels detected." Alex cursed under his breath. "Looks like they found us sooner than expected." Lyra stood, her movements graceful but quick. "Then we must not let them catch us." Alex activated the stealth mode, a tricked-together system that dimmed the ship's heat signature and scrambled sensors. "This might hide us for a while," he said. Lyra moved to the co-pilot seat and began typing commands into the auxiliary console. "Your systems are weak. I can improve them." "Wait, don't mess with—" Alex started. But then he saw the results. Her alien interface skills made his old stealth system 10 times more efficient. "How?" he asked. "I told you," she said without looking up. "Few can contain me, and that includes machines." Alex grinned despite the tension. "All right, Princess, you're officially part of the crew." "I am no crew member," Lyra replied. "I am your partner. For now." The stealth field bought them time, but not for long. On the radar, 3 fast-moving ships closed the distance. Alex's stomach tightened. "Those are bounty hunters," he said. "They'll try to disable us and take you alive." "And you?" Lyra asked. "They don't care about me," Alex said. "But they'll kill me if I'm in the way." Lyra's eyes flashed. "Then we remove ourselves from their way." She opened a panel on the co-pilot console, revealing a small metallic sphere. "This is from my ship. It will create a false energy signature. We can send it in a different direction." Alex's eyes widened. "Like a decoy?" "Yes," she said, "but it will not last long. You must fly fast." Alex launched the decoy and pushed the ship's engines to maximum. The hum turned into a roar and the stars stretched into bright lines. On the radar, the enemy ships changed direction, chasing the false signal. "Nice work," Alex said, his voice tense. "But they'll figure it out soon." Lyra leaned back, in her seat. Enough time for us to escape. For the next few hours, they navigated through dark, uncharted space. They passed by shattered asteroids, drifting space wrecks, and dead moons. Alex kept the course sharp, avoiding open routes where they might be detected. As they traveled, Lyra spoke again, her voice softer. "I escaped my home because my father's throne is in danger. A warlord named Kor seeks to control the Cathari Empire. He will use me as a political tool." Alex glanced at her. "And you're trying to find allies?" "Yes," she said. "But every ally I contacted turned away. They fear Kor's fleet. I thought perhaps humans might be different." Alex smirked. "We're different, all right. Some say we're crazy." "Perhaps that is what I need," Lyra said thoughtfully. Before Alex could reply, the ship's long-range sensors beeped again. This time it wasn't enemy ships. It was an asteroid field. Dense, shifting, and unpredictable. Alex groaned. "Great. Flying through that is like threading a needle in a hurricane." "Do you trust me?" Lyra asked suddenly. Alex hesitated. "I barely know you." "Then decide now," she said, moving toward the manual flight controls. "Because I can guide us through that field faster than your enemies can follow." Alex looked at her, saw the unwavering confidence in her eyes, and slowly moved aside. "All right, Princess, show me." Lyra took the controls, her hands moving with fluid precision. The ship darted between massive rocks and spinning debris like a shadow in the dark. She seemed to know exactly where each asteroid would be before it moved. "How are you doing this?" Alex asked, gripping the seat. "My people can read energy flows," she said calmly. "The movement of objects in space is like music. You only have to hear it." Alex shook his head in amazement. "Humans can't do that. We just calculate and hope for the best." "That is why you have me," Lyra said. In minutes, they were clear of the asteroid field. Behind them, the bounty hunters' signals flickered and disappeared. They had been smashed by the moving rocks. Alex let out a long breath. "You just saved us." Lyra smiled faintly. "We saved each other. Remember that." The rest of the journey was quieter. Alex began to realize that Lyra wasn't just a runaway princess. She was sharp, capable, and fearless. But she was also cautious, always watching for threats, as if danger could appear at any moment. Finally, Alex brought the ship into a hidden refueling station built inside a hollow moon. The base was small, used by smugglers and independent traders. No one asked questions here. As the ship powered down, Lyra stood and looked at him seriously. "Your world does not yet know the danger Kor represents, but if he gains control of my empire, his next target will be the surrounding systems, and eventually human space." Alex's jaw tightened. "Then I guess we're in this together, because I'm not letting someone like that get anywhere near my people." Lyra extended her hand. "Then we are allies." Alex took it. Her grip was strong. In that handshake, something unspoken passed between them, a silent agreement that neither would abandon the other. Outside the cockpit window, the stars shone cold and distant. Somewhere out there, enemies were already planning their next move. But now, the uncontainable princess had a human ally, and together they might just be unpredictable enough to survive. Hollow Moon Base was quiet, its metal corridors echoing with every footstep. Dim yellow lights flickered above as Alex followed Lyra toward a small maintenance room where they could talk without anyone overhearing. He didn't trust the smugglers, who ran this place. People here worked for credits, not loyalty. If they found out an alien princess was hiding on his ship, half the station would be trying to sell that information before the hour was over. Lyra sat at a rusted table and folded her hands. Her golden eyes seemed brighter in the shadows. "I have not told you the full truth," she said. Alex leaned against the wall. "I figured as much." Lyra studied him for a moment before speaking again. "When I said Kor wants to control the Cathari Empire, that was only part of it. My people guard something powerful. If he takes it, it will change the balance of the galaxy." Alex frowned. "What kind of something are we talking about?" "A core," she said quietly. "An ancient device left behind by a civilization older than any known. It can bend the will of others, control their minds entirely. In the wrong hands, entire worlds could be enslaved without a single shot fired." Alex whistled softly. "That's not the kind of thing you want a warlord to have." Lyra nodded. "It is hidden deep within the royal vaults. Only the ruler of my people can access it. As the heir, I am the key." "So that's why he's chasing you," Alex said. "He doesn't just want you as a political hostage. He needs you to unlock this core." "Yes," Lyra said, her voice hardening. "And if he succeeds, no one will be free." Alex rubbed his chin. "All right, let's say I believe you. What's the plan?" Lyra's eyes narrowed slightly. "The plan is to find allies brave enough to stand against him. The Council worlds have already refused. They think humans are too far from the conflict to care. But perhaps—" She paused, as if weighing her words. "Perhaps you can convince your people otherwise." Alex gave a small laugh. "Convincing humans to join a galactic war isn't exactly easy. Most of us barely trust our neighbors, let alone alien empires." Lyra leaned forward. "Then you will need to show them the truth." Before Alex could reply, a distant alarm echoed through the moon base. His instincts screamed trouble. He moved to the door and peeked down the hall. 3 figures in dark armor were walking in, definitely not smugglers. Their helmets were smooth and featureless, glowing faint red at the visor. Lyra recognized them instantly. "Kor's hunters," she whispered. "They've found me." Alex cursed under his breath. "How?" "This station is not as secret as you believe," Lyra said. "We must leave now." They slipped out through the back corridor, moving quickly but quietly. The hunters' heavy boots echoed in the distance as they searched the station. Alex's ship wasn't far, but reaching it without being seen would be tricky. They passed an open repair bay, and Alex stopped suddenly. "Wait, give me a second." He grabbed a small box of parts from the shelf and quickly began assembling something. Lyra watched impatiently. "This is not the time for— Trust me," Alex cut in. A minute later, he tossed the device into a vent. A loud burst of static and crackling energy filled the air. Instantly, the base's lights flickered, and every screen in sight went blank. "The hunters use scanners to track movement," Alex explained as they hurried on. "Now they'll have to search blind." Lyra's lips curved faintly. "Perhaps humans are more clever than I thought." They reached the docking bay just as the station's backup lights came online. The hunters were still far enough away, but their red visors glowed faintly in the dim light, sweeping the area like predators. Alex powered up the ship fast, the engines humming to life. Lyra took the co-pilot seat and activated the ship's external shields. The docking clamps released, and the cargo ship drifted free from the hollow moon's hangar. Alex fired the thrusters, and they shot away into open space. But the hunters weren't giving up. 2 black pursuit craft detached from the station and followed them. "They'll catch us," Lyra said flatly. "Those ships are faster." Alex didn't answer. He was too busy steering toward a nearby gas cloud. The dense, swirling gases would hide them from sensors, but it was also dangerous. The storms inside could tear a ship apart if the pilot wasn't careful. Lyra gave him a sharp, "Look, you plan to fly into that?" Yep, Alex said. Unless you have a better idea? Lyra hesitated, then shook her head. No, but I can help us survive it. They plunged into the gas cloud. Thick golden vapors surrounded the ship, lightning flashing in the distance. The pursuit craft followed, their engines burning bright in the haze. Those ships use autopilot tracking in storms, Lyra said. If we disrupt the storm's natural energy, Alex caught on. We can overload their systems. Lyra activated a panel on her side, tuning the ship's shields to emit a specific frequency. Lightning struck the shields, magnifying the charge. Behind them, the two hunters' ships were hit by the same storm energy, only without protection. Both vessels spun out of control, their systems frying in an instant. Alex grinned. Remind me never to underestimate alien science. Lyra allowed herself the smallest of smiles. And I will not underestimate human daring. They emerged from the gas cloud into calmer space. For a moment, there was only silence. Then Lyra spoke again, her voice low. Alex, if you choose to stay with me, you will become a target for more than bounty hunters. You will be hunted by Kor himself. Alex stared at the stars ahead. I already made my choice back on your ship. If this Kor is as dangerous as you say, then I'm not sitting this one out. Lyra studied him for a moment, then nodded. Very well. We go together. Somewhere far behind them, the wrecked hunters drifted in the gas cloud, but Alex knew they would not be the last threat. The real fight hadn't even started yet. The next day, Alex's ship drifted quietly through a dark stretch of uncharted space. The stars looked calm, but Alex had been in space long enough to know calm never lasted. Lyra was at the co-pilot station, scanning the long-range sensors. She had barely spoken since their escape from the gas cloud. Her focus was sharp, her eyes constantly moving over the data. You're quiet, Alex said finally. That's never a good sign. Lyra didn't look up. Something feels wrong. The space around us, it's too still. Alex chuckled lightly. Too still? Space is always still. Not to me, she replied. I can feel energy flows. Remember, the currents here are unnatural. Before Alex could reply, the ship's sensors beeped sharply. A warning flashed across the screen. Multiple fast-moving objects detected. Alex's hands flew to the controls. Here we go again. Lyra leaned over his shoulder. It's not just bounty hunters this time. This is a fleet, Kor's fleet. Alex glanced at her. A whole fleet? For just one princess? For the key to the Kor, Lyra corrected. The radar showed at least 10 enemy ships closing in. They moved in perfect formation, like wolves surrounding prey. They're cutting us off from every direction, Alex said grimly. Lyra's voice was calm, but firm. Then we must break through before the circle closes. Alex pushed the engines to full power. The ship roared forward, weaving between asteroid clusters and drifting space debris. The enemy ships adjusted instantly, maintaining pursuit. They're faster than us, Alex muttered. Then we must be smarter, Lyra said. Turn 20 degrees starboard, now! Alex obeyed without question. Moments later, a massive asteroid drifted past their left side, its surface glowing faintly with strange minerals. Hide behind it, Lyra instructed. Alex maneuvered the ship close to the asteroid's surface, using its mass to block the enemy's sensors. But before they could settle in, a sudden beam of energy blasted past them, narrowly missing their hull. They've locked on, Alex said through clenched teeth. Lyra scanned the readings. That was a warning shot. Kor doesn't want to destroy the ship. He wants me alive. That's comforting, Alex replied dryly. The asteroid field ahead was dense and dangerous, with giant spinning rocks and clouds of icy dust. It was the kind of place most pilots avoided, exactly the kind of place Alex liked to hide in. Hold on, he warned. The ship dove into the asteroid field. Enemy vessels followed, but the tight spaces slowed them down. Alex twisted the ship. Through narrow gaps, sometimes spinning sideways to avoid jagged stone edges. Lyra held onto the seat, but her voice stayed steady. Head toward the twin asteroids. The gap between them is narrow, too narrow for their bigger ships. Alex spotted them, two massive rocks drifting side by side with barely enough room for his ship to slip through. "You'd better be right about this." "I am always right," Lyra said without hesitation. Alex threaded the ship through the gap with only meters to spare. Sparks flew from the hull as one wing scraped the edge. Behind them, the larger enemy ships were forced to slow, searching for another route. "That bought us some time," Alex said, exhaling, but their relief was short-lived. 3 smaller, faster enemy craft zipped through the gap behind them. "They're not giving up," Alex said. "Then we use the field to our advantage," Lyra replied. "Fly low. Hug the bigger asteroids. They'll risk crashing if they follow too closely." Alex did as she said, weaving dangerously close to spinning rocks. One of the enemy ships miscalculated and smashed into an asteroid, exploding in a flash of light. "2 left," Alex said, a small grin on his face. Lyra tapped into the weapons console. "I will handle the next one." Alex frowned. "Wait, you know how to use human weapons?" "I can use any weapons," Lyra said simply. A moment later, she fired the ship's railgun at a smaller asteroid above them. The rock shattered into 1,000 pieces, creating a sudden debris storm. One of the enemy ships flew straight into it, its shields overloading. It spun out of control and disappeared into the field. "Not bad," Alex said. "Not bad for a human ship," Lyra corrected. The last enemy craft kept its distance, watching them carefully. Alex could almost feel the pilot's caution. This one was smart. "He's waiting for reinforcements," Alex guessed. "Then we must leave this field before they arrive," Lyra said. Alex spotted an opening at the far end of the asteroid field. He pushed the engines to their limit, the ship shaking as it broke free into open space. The final enemy ship didn't follow. Instead, it turned back, likely to report their escape. Alex slumped in his seat. "That was too close," Lyra nodded. "It will get closer still. Kor will not stop until he has me, or until I am dead." Alex looked at her seriously. "Then we need to stop running and start hitting back." Lyra's golden eyes met his. "You wish to fight a galactic warlord with a single cargo ship?" "Hey," Alex said with a half-smile. "It's not the size of the ship. It's the pilot." For the first time since they met, Lyra laughed. It was a short, quiet laugh, but it was genuine. "You are reckless," she said. "I think I like—" "That," Alex grinned. "Good, because I have an idea." Lyra raised an eyebrow. "This had better be more than human stubbornness." "Oh, it's stubbornness," Alex said, "but with a plan. If Kor wants you so badly, maybe we should give him something to chase. Something that leads him into a trap." Lyra's expression shifted from amusement to curiosity. "I'm listening." As Alex explained his rough idea, the distant stars seemed to shimmer with possibility. The chase wasn't over. It was just changing. Somewhere far behind them, Kor's fleet was regrouping. Soon, they would come again, stronger than before. But Alex and Lyra were no longer just running. They were preparing to fight back. The plan was dangerous, maybe even foolish. But Alex knew it was the only way to stop running. If they kept fleeing, Kor's forces would eventually corner them. They had to turn the tables. Alex and Lyra studied a star chart inside the ship's small mess area. The galaxy shimmered in holographic light above the table. "There," Alex said, pointing to a faint mark near the edge of known space. "The Dusk Rift. It's a dead zone, barely any traffic, no communication signals. The place is littered with old mining stations and wrecks." Lyra examined it closely. "And you think this will be our battleground?" "It's perfect for—" "An ambush," Alex explained. "If we plant false transmissions suggesting you've been injured and stranded, Kor will send ships fast. He'll want to take you alive, so he won't risk blasting the area. That gives us a chance to set the trap. Lyra tilted her head slightly. And what is the trap? Alex grinned. An old mining station loaded with fuel cells and remote detonators. We let them dock. Then, boom. Lyra's golden eyes narrowed. It's risky. If they discover the explosives too soon, we will be trapped with them. That's why we'll make it look real, Alex said. I've done my share of cargo scams before. This will be the biggest one yet. For hours, they worked together. Lyra's precision and alien tech skills made the mining station's systems look alive again. Lights, heat signatures, and even fake distress beacons. Alex handled the explosive setup, hiding charges in support beams and power conduits. By the time they were finished, the station looked like a forgotten outpost barely holding together. Their ship floated nearby, damaged with a few panels removed for show. Then they waited. It didn't take long. Within 6 hours, the long-range sensors picked up movement. Lyra looked up from the console. 3 ships, Corps hunters. Only 3? Alex asked. They are scouts, Lyra said. The rest of the fleet will follow if they confirm. My presence. Alex settled into the pilot's seat. Good. Let's give them a show. The hunters approached cautiously, their sleek black vessels gliding through the rift's dark clouds. One of them sent a tight beam transmission. This is Commander Vec of the Corps Dominion. You are trespassing in restricted space. Identify. Yourselves. Alex tapped the comm. This is Captain Alex Renner. My ship's damaged. I have a passenger who needs medical help, fast. Lyra stepped into view behind him. Even through the grainy transmission, her royal presence was unmistakable. The hunters didn't need convincing. Prepare for boarding, Vec ordered. Alex pretended to sound nervous. All right, just hurry. Within minutes, the 3 enemy ships docked at the mining station. Through the external cams, Alex and Lyra watched armored hunters pour into the corridors, scanning for traps. They will find nothing suspicious, Lyra said. Your hiding work is surprisingly good. I take that as a compliment, Alex said with a smirk. The hunters spread out, searching for her. When they reached the main control room of the station, Alex triggered the first stage, emergency lockdown. Heavy blast doors slammed shut, sealing the hunters inside. They're trapped, Alex said. Lyra's eyes narrowed. Then finish it. Alex activated the detonators. The charges went off in sequence, shaking the rift with brilliant flashes. The mining station erupted into fragments, the shockwaves scattering debris in every direction. The 3 hunter ships, still docked, were ripped apart instantly. The ship's sensors beeped urgently. That will get Corps' attention, Lyra said. Alex nodded. That's the idea. He'll send more ships, but now he'll know we're not just running. True enough. Within an hour, new signals appeared on the radar, larger, faster ships approaching from deep space. But instead of panic, Lyra seemed almost pleased. You wanted to fight back, she said. Now the warlord himself might come. Alex tightened his grip on the controls. Good. Let's see how he handles a human welcome. The incoming fleet was 5 strong, led by a massive command cruiser bristling with weapons. Alex knew they couldn't win a straight fight. He leaned toward Lyra. We'll have to take out their engines. If we can cripple the lead ship, the rest might pull back. Lyra studied the cruiser's design on the scanner. The engines are shielded, but the shields are powered by an exposed reactor conduit. If you can get close enough, I can overload it, Alex finished. But that means flying right into their firing range. Lyra's golden eyes locked onto his. Do you trust me? Always, Alex said. They pushed the ship's engines to full, diving straight toward the enemy fleet. The first barrage of laser fire lit up the darkness, but Alex rolled and twisted through it, each movement tighter than the last. Lyra adjusted the shield frequency to deflect the worst hits. They shot past 2 of the smaller escort ships, skimming close enough to feel the vibration of their engines. The massive command cruiser loomed ahead, its reactor conduit glowing faintly. "At the rear, now!" Lyra shouted. Alex released a pair of EMP torpedoes, aiming directly for the glowing section. The first torpedo was shot down by point defense guns, but the second hit true. The conduit flared, and the cruiser's shields collapsed instantly. "Engines are failing," Lyra reported. The command cruiser drifted, powerless, its escorts pulling back in confusion. Alex didn't waste time. "We're leaving before they call in reinforcements." They jumped to light speed, vanishing into the rift's shadows. In the sudden quiet of the cockpit, Lyra turned to Alex. "Today you crippled one of Corps' greatest ships. That will be remembered." Alex smiled faintly. "Let's hope it also makes him think twice." Lyra's gaze hardened. "Corps will not think twice. He will only grow more determined, but now he knows humans are not to be underestimated." Alex leaned back, staring at the stars. "Good. Let him come. I'm not done yet." The alarms had stopped. The hum of the ship's engines had become steady again. For the first time in many hours, Alex could hear his own breathing without the echo of explosions or shouts in the background. But the danger was not over. The ship was still drifting near the war zone, and the enemy fleet could return at any moment. Princess Lyra stood near the main control panel, her golden eyes fixed on the navigation screen. Her long silver hair looked messy from all the running and fighting. "We have two options," she said quietly. "We can try to return to my home world, or we can go to the human colonies." Alex looked at her. "Your people still think you're dangerous?" Lyra gave a tired smile. "They don't just think it. They believe it so much they were willing to let me die. My abilities scare them." Alex walked closer. "Then why save them? Why not just escape and never look back?" She hesitated. "Because even if they hate me, they are still my people. And the enemy who attacked us will not stop with them. They will come for everyone, even humans." The silence in the control room felt heavy. Alex thought about everything that had happened since he was trapped on the ship with her, the sudden escape, the fights in narrow corridors, her strange powers that no one could seem to contain. He remembered how she had stood in front of him, taking the enemy's fire to protect him. "You're right," he finally said. "We fight back." Lyra's eyes softened. "Together?" "Together," Alex replied without hesitation. They began to plan. The ship's systems were damaged, but Lyra knew its technology better than anyone. Alex worked on repairs, his hands moving quickly across the panels, guided by her instructions. The two of them moved like they had done this for years, even though they had met only days ago. "Once we reach your home system," Alex said, tightening a panel cover. "What happens if they try to lock you up again?" Lyra smirked. "They can try, but this time, I have a human who knows all the doors and systems." Alex laughed. "Great. I'll be your personal escape plan." Her smile faded, replaced by a serious look. "No, you'll be more than that. You'll be my witness. If they see that a human stood by my side, maybe they'll see I'm not their enemy." Hours later, the ship slipped into faster-than-light travel. The stars stretched into bright lines, and the damaged interior of the ship felt strangely quiet. Alex leaned back in the pilot's seat. "You know," he said, "when I woke up that day on my cargo ship, I didn't expect to be kidnapped, chased, and fighting alongside an alien princess." Lyra tilted her head. "Do you regret it?" Thought for a moment. "No, but I do wish we had more food." She laughed, a sound that was rare for her. "When we reach my planet, I'll have the royal kitchens prepare a feast for you." "Careful," Alex said with a grin. "I might never leave after that." When they dropped out of FTL, Lyra's homeworld appeared on the main screen, a blue-green sphere with rings of shining orbital cities. But it was not peaceful. Bright flashes lit the darkness. Warships filled the sky. The enemy was already here. Lyra's face turned pale. "They're Attacking already. Alex quickly checked the sensors. And your people's fleet is losing. Without waiting for orders, Liara sat in the co-pilot seat. Alex, prepare the ship's main weapon. He stared at her. This ship has a main weapon? It does now, she said, her fingers flying. Over the controls. The floor beneath them vibrated. It's powered by the same energy source that gives me my abilities. Alex understood. You're going to use your power to fire it, aren't you? She nodded. If it works, it will end the battle. If it fails... She didn't finish the sentence. The enemy flagship loomed ahead, a massive shadow with glowing weapon ports. Alex lined up the targeting systems. We only get one shot, he said. Liara closed her eyes. Light began to glow around her hands, the same strange golden light Alex had seen when she defended them before. The ship's systems hummed louder, energy flowing into the weapon core. Ready, she whispered. Alex pressed the firing control. A beam of brilliant gold shot from the ship's front, tearing through the darkness. It struck the enemy flagship directly, cutting through its shields like paper. A massive explosion lit up space, scattering the enemy fleet. The remaining enemy ships broke formation and jumped away. The battle was over, but the victory came at a cost. Liara slumped in her seat, her energy nearly gone. Alex caught her before she could fall. Hey, stay with me, he said urgently. I'm fine, she whispered, though her voice was weak. Go. Tell them. We fought for them. The royal fleet surrounded their ship. A transmission came through. Princess Liara. Is that truly you? A deep voice asked. It's her, Alex replied, glaring at the camera. And she just saved your entire planet. Maybe now you'll start listening to her. There was a long pause before the voice answered. Bring her home. The council will hear her words. Later, as they landed on the planet, crowds gathered to see the princess who had returned from exile, with a human at her side. Some still looked wary, but many looked hopeful. Liara stepped forward, standing tall despite her exhaustion. My people, she said, her voice strong. The enemy came for us, and they will come again. But today we stood together, human and alien, and we won. Remember that. Alex watched as the crowd slowly began to cheer. He smiled. For once, it seemed like maybe things would be all right. That night, in the royal palace, Liara found Alex on a balcony, looking at the stars. You could return to your world, she said softly. He shook his head. I think I'll stay a while. Someone has to make sure you don't cause too much trouble, she smiled. Too late for that, and... Together they looked up at the stars, knowing that their strange journey had only just begun.